Hey everybody, so in this video we're going to be going over the answers to the Ethos, Pathos, Logos examples. Hopefully you were able to view the videos in the PowerPoint. If you haven't done that yet, go do that first. You'll find the PowerPoint on the portal. This should be what you're doing on Friday, the 8th. And just go watch the videos. Hopefully you're able to actually watch the video within the PowerPoint itself. If not, I also tried to put the link in the PowerPoint so you can just follow that link to the video as well. There were 5 total videos. What you should have done is write down whether you think the commercial was using Ethos, Pathos, Logos, or possibly a combination of the 3, because many did use more than one. So today in this video, I'm going to talk about kind of what I saw in each video and which of the 3 rhetorical appeals I think were being used the most. So this first video, it was a video for a law firm, right? Bryant Law Firm or something like that. And you start off with apparently this couple, and they're in the car and they're driving. It's a normal day. They're talking about their day at work. But then very suddenly, you hear tires screeching and the screen goes black, and we assume, they were in an accident. And then we see this message, right? It says, life can change in a matter of seconds. And then finally at the end, it says, get Bryant, right? So basically the idea is that, if you, you need Bryant Law Firm because, car accidents are a very real possibility. So think about what's being used here between Ethos, Pathos, and Logos. So definitely I would say Pathos is probably the main thing. Think about what emotion they're trying to get you to feel. They're definitely trying to get you to feel maybe some fear, right? Which also would relate to the propaganda fear. And then, with the couple, in the car at the beginning, maybe they're trying to make you feel a little bit, I don't know, just sentimental maybe. So definitely this commercial is trying to make you feel certain emotions. And because of those emotions, you should get Bryant Law Firm, right? Sorry if you hear my dog in the background. So I would definitely say that's the main one. Now it's also possible, and you might have said that at the very end of the video, maybe there's a little bit of Logos as well, which is definitely, I would agree with. They say this at the end, they say, you don't pay anything until we win your case, right? That's kind of a logical argument, saying, hey, it makes sense to pick Bryant Law Firm because you're not going to spend any money unless we win. So if you said either Pathos or Logos, I definitely think those are the 2 being used mainly. All right, next commercial. So most of you hopefully recognize who this person is. If you don't, this is Drake. Definitely one of the more famous rappers to live, the past 10 or 15 years. This was a kind of older commercial back when he was really popular. So it's obviously a Sprite commercial. And we start off and Drake is standing there at the mic, and it's like he can't think of what he wants to say. It's kind of like he has this writer's block almost where he can't come up with the rap. But then, he takes a sip of Sprite, and suddenly, you see it's almost like his body opens up, and we see that there's Sprite flowing throughout his veins, and his veins are all, like records and stuff, like musical equipment. So the idea behind this is definitely that Sprite, is kind of what energizes Drake. It's what gives him the inspiration to write his raps. Because then at the very end, he starts rapping, and it's one of his more famous songs. So what's being used here? Because they're trying to sell Sprite, but how are they trying to get you to do that, right? So I would definitely say the main one, and really probably the only one in this case, is Ethos. Now, if you're relating it to propaganda, hopefully you kind of recognize this as a little bit of testimonial in a way, because they're using this famous celebrity to endorse their product, right? And they're saying that, hey, if you drink Sprite, you can be as good as Drake is, So definitely, they're definitely trying to appeal to your sense of ethos. They're trying to make their product seem more credible, because if this famous rapper uses their product, then, that might make other people want to use it as well. Now, I would also argue that this isn't a really logical argument because, Sprite doesn't actually make you better at rap, but they're kind of subtly trying to appeal to your sense of ethos. All right, next one. This was the 3rd video. So this one is a Publix ad, and if you've ever seen these Publix ads, they're always these kind of emotional, they're meant to be heartwarming. And this one was very much like that. It's a mother and a daughter, and they're baking, and the mother's pregnant, and it's this kind of heartwarming moment here at the end. The daughter hugs the mother's belly and is talking to her future sibling, and so this is definitely meant to make you emotional, make you feel these family values. Obviously that's pathos. Hopefully this one was pretty obvious. This one is definitely trying to make you feel happy. It's probably targeted more towards like the mothers, and this is definitely going to kind of make their heart swell up. And that's going to ultimately, hopefully at least, make them want to go to Publix. The idea is that Publix is what causes these, happy family moments, to happen. So hopefully you said pathos for this one, definitely trying to make you feel certain emotions to sell their product and to convince you to go to Publix. Okay, the next video, this was video number 4. This was one that was very recent about the coronavirus. And throughout the video, we hear from many different experts, and they're discussing why, social distancing and quarantining is necessary. And there's a few things being used here. The first and most important, I would say, is definitely, hopefully you said, logos. Throughout the video, they use different facts and statistics. So on your screen, here's one. They throw up the fact that people over the age of 60 with medical conditions are at highest risk. So definitely using kind of logical arguments, bringing in facts and statistics to support their argument, and try to convince you that you need to stay home. So definitely logos is the main one being used here. And it makes sense. I mean, all these people that are in the commercial are doctors and, experts. So naturally, those people are going to use logos more than other things. However, there might be a little bit more as well. Right at the beginning of the video, the first lady who spoke around 5 seconds in, she said something like, we're asking you to be selfless for others. Maybe you said that's a little bit of a pathos, right? A little appeal to emotion, right? Maybe they're trying to, I don't know if guilt is the right word, but trying to make you feel responsible, trying to make you feel like it's your responsibility to protect others. I think that's definitely a little bit appealing to pathos, right? And then also, look at the very bottom right of the screen right now. It says coronavirus.gov. This is very subtle, but I'll pull up another picture actually as well. So look at the bottom of your screen here. It says things like the White House, CDC, the Ad Council. So I want you to think about how maybe this is also appealing to your sense of ethos, right? Whether or not you trust this commercial, whether you see it as reliable. This is something that commercials will do a lot. At the end of the commercial, they might say, "Oh, this ad is sponsored by blah 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 blah," the CDC or something. That's trying to make it seem more trustworthy, more reliable. And I think the commercial is doing this a little bit by showing, hey, the CDC supports this. This is from the White House. That you should trust and believe this message. So I definitely think we're seeing a little bit of all 3 rhetorical appeals in this commercial. Definitely logos. Logos is probably the main one. They're using stats and figures and data to try to convince you. A little bit of pathos and definitely a little bit of ethos. So this is a very good commercial that uses all 3. All right, in the last video, this one is one of my favorite commercials. That's why I put it in here. This one might have been a little more confusing, though, because it doesn't really seem like it's doing much of anything except for being funny, or trying to be funny at least. So what is that? Is humor, is that using one of the 3 rhetorical appeals? And I would say yes. Hopefully you said pathos, right? Pathos is definitely being used here because trying to make you laugh is trying to make you feel an emotion. Laughter is happiness, right? So if a commercial can make you laugh, it might make you pay attention to it more, and it might make it more likely that you'll, buy whatever they're selling. In this case, it's Skittles, right? So anytime a commercial or any argument is trying to make you laugh, trying to use humor to get to you, that's definitely an appeal to pathos, right? It's an appeal to an emotion the same way that if a commercial was trying to make you feel scared or sad, So definitely some pathos being used here. That's probably all that's being used here. I didn't really see any logos or ethos in this commercial. So hopefully you said pathos for this one. Now, like I said in the last video, guys, you can literally go watch any commercial on TV and you're going to see at least one of these three. Now, it's not just commercials either. Now, we're using commercials because, that's something we encounter on a daily basis. It's one of the main ways that, we try to be persuaded, we try to be convinced when these companies try to sell their products to us, right? But anytime that somebody is making an argument, remember, they're most likely going to be using at least one of these three rhetorical appeals. So hopefully this helped kind of see some examples, kind of see how they're used in real life. On Monday, you're going to be, today was just for practice. On Monday, you're going to actually do a grade with this. We're going to give you, it won't be commercials actually, but we're going to give you some different arguments, some different, well, you'll see what they are, but you're going to actually decide for yourself whether ethos, pathos, or logos is being used. So hopefully this video helped you understand that a little bit more. If you'd like more practice, like I said, just turn on the TV, watch some commercials, and you'll see them being used. All right, thanks, guys.